guys, Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music. We've got another episode of Guitar Tours, and it's a special one because we are at the guitar mecca in Nashville, Tennessee called Carter's Vintage Guitars. And it's not just the mecca of Nashville, Tennessee. I would say it's a guitar mecca of the whole world, really. I mean, you can't beat this place. It's amazing. You have to see it to believe it, but we're going to give you a little taste today. I'm hanging out with one of the guitar experts here, Mr. Walter. How are you?
Just fine.
Hey,
Doing
man.
Great.
Now, this is obviously a very kind of like not fancy guitar. It's a real simple guitar.
Yeah.
CD player, built-in CD
You
player.
can make one on your kitchen table.
Yeah.
I think that is where that's when it was made.
No, this thing is insane. I don't know what to say, but this was Bo Diddley's guitar here.
The guy who made it was insane, Bo Diddley. Yeah. You have to know his name, Ellis McDaniel.
Okay.
And so E.MC, that is Bo Diddley. And just in case you don't know that, he put his name there. And just in case you can't play the lick, Bo Diddley, from the song Bo Diddley, made famous by Bo Diddley, you could put a CD in and you could have it. There's a separate out for the CD there. This guitar came in from his grandson, who remembers Bo playing it around the house some, but nothing specific about what he was playing along with.
Yeah, we've got the, just in case people didn't know,
CD.
That's the CD.
Yes.
CD output, guitar output.
Yeah.
A funky thing that I'm familiar with, because I actually had one of these a long time ago, it's actually got a synth guitar pickup built into it as well. This is classic. So maybe he was getting some steel drum sounds or something from it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It would all fit in.
This giant block right here really blocks my vision of the, it feels so intrusive. But you got to have your CD player. So where else is it going to go? You know? So how long have you been here at Carter's?
Well, from the beginning, my wife and I opened the store in 2013.
Wow.
With the two of us and one more employee.
Okay.
And now we got 20 employees.
Wow. It's amazing. I mean, everyone that I've done an episode of this with, they all have some kind of story about Carter's. In fact, some of the people that we've done guitar tours with have actually been in your demo videos for Carter's. So that's just cool to see. So what made you start?
I fell into it like everything else in Nashville. And I guess it's like in LA and New York, you go there to be something. And if it's not quite working out, you end up doing all sorts of things. I came to town as a songwriter a long time ago. Worked for the newspaper for a while. So at one point I had a journalism background as well. And, started writing books on guitars with another guy you've interviewed, George Gruen.
Oh, yeah.
Worked for him off and on for about 12 years. My wife worked for him also. And at one point, it was time to go on our own.
This one is certainly one of a kind. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been walking around the store every corner, everywhere I turn. It's just amazing. Another amazing vintage guitar. All right, well, let's see what else you got. What is this bad boy right here?
This is the first working modern electric guitar, period, ever made.
Wow.
It was made in 1932 by the company that would become Rickenbacker. That horseshoe pickup was their trademark from day one, and it still appears on some of their guitars and basses. You know, the modern pickups are all under string, and this early one surrounds the strings. The concept is the same. You take the signal directly from the strings. That pickup in that guitar sounds that will hold its own with any PAF in a Les Paul or any Strat out there today.
It wasn't Rickenbacker yet. So
what
was it called?
The company was called R-O-Pat-N, P-A-T, I-N.
Okay.
And there's people have guessed about what that means, and nobody really knows.
Okay.
It was guys who were associated with the national company. Some of the guys from that company, Adolf Rickenbacker was associated with them also as a tool and die maker, not as a guitar designer. George Beecham is the guy who came up with this concept of the direct string-driven pickup. And then he had some outs with the company, and I guess Rickenbacker probably had the most money because his name ended up on the company.
And this just didn't really take off. Was it too early, you think?
It took off for Hawaiian players.
Okay.
Because by that time, Hawaiian guys were playing, not by that time, they were playing acoustic instruments in their lap. So they had less volume to start with. Bands were getting bigger, requiring more volume. The Hawaiian guys, I think, needed it the most. And so they immediately adopted and embraced electric guitars. They changed the whole style of Hawaiian music.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of a jazzy ragtime, even played with a bar, before the electric guitar. And then they began to take advantage of the sustaining properties of an electric. And that changed that when you got to the real lush, smooth sound of Hawaiian stuff. That's a result of changing from acoustic to electric.
Well, this thing's just, it's so cool to have a little piece of history, although I'm sure, you have all kinds of amazing things coming in all the time.
Well, that's a special one. I mean, there's only one first. And
right.
If you think of the first computer, it's not very functional. The first automobile, had a stick you drove with.
Yeah.
And wouldn't be competitive today.
Right.
The first electric guitar is every bit as functional today as it was.
Those are good analogies. I like that. All right. Well, we're at Carter's Vintage, so there's a lot more to see. So maybe we can dig into something else. This is the Ed King Sweet Home Alabama guitar.
That's the one he used to write the lick on.
Wow.
He had just joined the band, and he was a Gibson player, as were the other two guys. And so he thought he needed a different sound. So he bought this guitar, came into their daily rehearsal. The song was in progress a little bit, and Ed came up with that lick. Of course, Ed would play that at their next gig, but he just never liked this guitar. He didn't like the sound and didn't like the feel of the neck, so he immediately went out looking for other Strats, and he bought several and finally found one that had pickups that he liked, and then another that had a neck that he liked, and he put the two together. And that's the one with the black finish that is most familiar for.
Yeah, we saw that when we got to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Just thinking about this is the Sweet Home Alabama guitar. I mean, I don't know what pickup that was on. Do you think it was on the middle one?
I don't know.
Let's see. Each one I tried, it sounded like it still,
Yeah.
It might be that.
So Ed said it's Gary Rossington who had the kind of the chord changes going. And then out of the blue came that lick, and then the Ed solo is also a classic.
Great solo.
And he said that came to him in a dream. So it was all something.
So, anyway,
probably wanna
nothing
know-
to see here.
You probably want to know what this is.
What
And why it is.
Yeah, what and why, who, where, what, why, all of those.
Well, it's a Gibson MandoBass from the teens, the 19 teens, and it represents an era of music that's largely forgotten and unheard now, and that's the era of the mandolin orchestra. But from around the turn of the century to World War I, that was the most popular type of music from a participatory standpoint. It started in the 1880s, which had been the minstrel banjo era. A band came over from Spain and started the whole movement. They were called the Spanish Students. They were so popular that copy acts, mainly made up of Italians who passed for Spanish, started playing the same kind of music and using their home instruments, which were mandolins. The first instruments made by Orville Gibson, who founded the Gibson Company, were mandolins. The Gibson Company promoted the idea of a mandolin orchestra, a mandolin family of instruments. So you had the mandolin corresponded in pitch and tuning to a violin. You had a mandola that corresponded to a viola, and a mandocello that corresponded to a bowed cello. And then they just kept on going, and they did a bass in the form of a mandolin, and this is it. So the banjo came back with a vengeance in the form of the tenor banjo and what's now the first jazz, now called Dixieland. And the mandolin faded out, and the mandolin orchestras did too. But this is the big boy of that era.
I thank you for showing me this. This is another first in my life, you know? Well, it's never ending, but
We'll see what else we have.
Let's see another gem.
All right.
Wow. This thing looks amazing. I'm sure you're about to tell me why it's amazing.
It really is. You can see on the dirty label, maybe you can make out the signature of Orville H. Gibson. So this is one that he made before the Gibson Company was founded, probably right around 1900. The real significance of it is the top is carved into an arch, and no one had done that before. Orville started it. He made just a handful of guitars, maybe 15 or so, and this is one of them. He also carved the back with a flat center, but with a lip on the side. Ideally, he would have carved the whole thing out of one piece of wood, but he admitted that was impractical. Then there was one other important thing about this guitar, and we have it strung up with nylon strings now because we're afraid the neck is going to be damaged. He used steel strings. He was a mandolin maker as well, and mandolins were always strung with steel. No guitars were at that time. All guitars were gut strung. And in fact, the Washburn Company guaranteed their guitars against everything except, in their words, the ravages of steel strings. Mm-hmm. So Orville was revolutionary in a number of ways. This guitar and several others like it started the Gibson Company, the whole archtop guitar genre of guitar.
Wow, that is so cool. All right, I want to thank Walter Carter of Carter's Vintage Guitars, the proprietor of this fine establishment. Thank you for letting us do this.
Oh, my pleasure.
And also thank you for personally taking your time, to share these with us. Obviously, you guys got to check out Carter's Vintage Guitars, whether you go online to just see, you guys also make great content too.
We shamelessly ask people to play when they come in, and it goes back to the days when we were first opened and had no money for anything.
Yeah.
No budget for video. We had a camera and you push the red button and we just said, play what you want to play. And
yeah.
You don't have to go, well, this is the 59 Strat and this is how the first string sounds on this microphone with this set of strings, and play anything you want and have fun in the store.
This is, like I said before, this is a guitar mecca of the whole world. It's not just coming to Nashville. I mean, this is one of the ultimate guitar places you have to visit. So check them out. We're going to have some links below for you to check it out. And once again, thank you so much.
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. I'm going to shake your
in.
hand.
All right.
Thank you so much. I hope to come back real soon. And I'm going to play this Amazing instrument right here. Play us out.